Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have been waiting to film this video for such a long time, and as you probably already know, this is an update video as to what has happened with our renovation project. So for those of you who don't know, at the end of 2019, me and Steve bought our first ever property for renovating, and we bought it at auction. It's a 2-bed and a terrace Victorian cottage. We filmed a lot of the process, so if you haven't seen those videos, I will link them on the screen here and put them down in the description box as well, because we did kind of show you like a before, during, after kind of vibe. And yeah, like I said, it was our first ever renovation property, and after I shared those videos, you guys had so many questions for me about what happened with the project, wanting updates, and it's only until now that we can finally actually give you an update. And honestly, I cannot believe it's taken this long. I really can't. But I wanted to talk you through the process, why things did take so long, just give you a full-on update and all of the goss about what happened. So yeah, grab a cup of tea. It's probably going to be a long one. I have also promised you guys I will do a money video as well, so how much we spent, how much we earned. I said from the beginning I want to be really open and honest about stuff, because when we were looking to do our first renovation property, I felt like there wasn't a lot of stuff out there that was really open about certain things. So I kind of want to provide that because I feel like it could be helpful, and so many of you have reached out to me saying that you would be interested in venturing into property development, renovation, whatever it may be as well. So I will be providing that video. I'm going to do it in a different one because I feel like if I cover everything, I'm just going to be talking for hours on end. So today I'm literally just going to cover step by step what we went through, you know, the good, the bad and the ugly, things we wish we'd done differently. And I hope this isn't a completely rambly video, but yeah, I think it's going to be a long one. Okay, so first up, we bought the property at auction. Let me know if you guys want any kind of advice or auctions explained or anything like that, because I honestly thought it was quite a daunting process. So I can do that in a separate video if you guys do want that as well. And obviously with anything I'm talking about, any questions, ask in the comments section below and I'll do my best to cover everything I can. But yeah, we bought the property at auction in July 2019, took 4 weeks to complete, and we completed in August. That was all fine. We set a budget we wanted for the house. We kind of, basically what we did is we went through and actually estimated how much we thought things would cost. We did this by a lot of research, like a lot of research, and did a thorough kind of budget for what we wanted to spend on the house, plus a contingency. And I will say that you always need a contingency, always, no matter what project. And so we got the property for like what we wanted. We didn't overspend on it, and that's another thing I would say is definitely set yourself a budget and stick to it for how much you want to spend on the house. And the reason we like that house in particular is because it's a really good area. It's just off of the high street at a local kind of village, town, suburb area. Really good commuter links. There was literally a bus stop a minute away, which takes you straight into Bristol. And it was a decent sized 2-bed property. We particularly like this one because we thought it would make a perfect first time buyer property, but if all else failed, we knew that the rental income on it would be really good as well. So those were some of the driving forces behind why we specifically wanted that property. So we were really lucky that we actually got it. And actually it went to auction before we were ready, and it didn't sell at auction. We then put in a pre-auction offer, which didn't get accepted, and then it went to auction and then we got it. But what we got it for was only marginally more than what we'd initially offered anyway. I feel like the first mistake we made was the contractor we used. And I got quite a few messages and comments in my previous videos saying your contractor's not very good. And don't worry guys, I know this has been one of the biggest headaches ever. And I didn't want to be open about it at the time in case anyone was to have watched the videos and it would have gone back to him. We were in a position obviously where he was doing work for us and we didn't feel comfortable, like he could have just dropped us on our asses basically. And although the relationship with him was terrible, I didn't want to be open about it at that time. So that's why I was very polite about it in previous videos. But I will say now this video is probably gonna have a lot of swearing in it because he was a complete asshole. The only reason we used him is because he was a family friend. And this is a massive fuck up. I honestly, I don't care, I would never go down that route again. He has done work for family members previously and we knew of him. So we thought he would be a safe bet. And I mean, long story short, he was rude. He told us how long the project would take. There were no unforeseen sort of issues that arose, and the timeline he gave us literally doubled. I would turn up, I would just drop in and just see how things were going on. He would never be doing work. He'd be standing outside smoking. He called one of our neighbours a C word. He was miserable, horrible. His standard of work was shocking. We had issues where we actually had to, for example, there were a couple of small issues with the roof. He told us he addressed them, he hadn't. We had to then pay for an actual professional to come in and do it. A lot of the plaster work had blown, so he hadn't prepped the walls properly basically. So we ended up getting someone else in to do it, and he did reimburse us for that. But there were so many issues. There were a lot of things that I had asked for that he didn't provide. I know stupid things like I asked for a shower tray shelf in the shower. He just didn't do it because he couldn't be bothered. He put the shower door on backwards. When I told him it was backwards, he told me I was wrong, and then finally realized it was on backwards, and then he scratched all the chrome, having to take it out and flip it basically. Just a lot of stupid things like that. He gave us an initial budget. I asked for specific breakdowns, value, like quotes, things like that. He didn't provide us any of that. We also, this is the worst one, we didn't ask for any proof of accreditation. We didn't ask to see if he was qualified to do certain jobs. We trusted that he was, and this is what bugs me the most, because if we didn't know about him, the process I would have gone down is using sites like Check a Trade, or I would have just Googled people. I would have asked for, like, are they qualified to do this? Are they qualified to do that? I would have checked people more, but because we were like assured by other people that he was like you know, oh yeah, he can do it, we just went along with it. And I just think, never go along with it, never. And I honestly wish, like, we knew from very early on that he was full of shit, and I wish we'd have just said, look, no, see you later, we're gonna use someone else, because it took twice as much, like twice the amount of time to actually get the work done. Then he said it pushed us back. Obviously, like, our opinion is time is money. The time and money that we're spending on this property, the sooner we get it done, the sooner we can get a profit and then do another one. So it's just, the whole thing was so frustrating. And even things like, some of the windows need to be replaced. I said, look, I'm gonna get someone in to do it. And he said, oh no, I can do it. And I was like, oh, you can do it? And I meant as in, like, you're qualified to do it. And obviously, like, anyone who's bought a house will probably know that when you buy a house, you should have like Fencer certified installed windows. Otherwise, they're potentially not safe. So when I said to him, oh, you can do it, I meant as in, are you qualified to do that? And in the end, they weren't Fencer certified. We had to obviously like pay for indemnity policies and things like that to cover that. It was just such a headache further down the line. And honestly, like, in my opinion, he was a cowboy builder, and potentially you can save money doing it that way. I don't think we did, but further down the line, it's going to be such a headache. It could potentially cost you more money. It's not worth it. And that's probably like the biggest thing I've learned is, firstly, don't work with people that you don't like. I didn't like him from the moment I met him. And also he was very, very sexist. And I think one of the reasons we butted heads is because he didn't like the fact that I was the one having to tell him what to do. I'm not someone who will shy away if I don't think things are right. So when I called him out on stuff, called him out when he wasn't doing stuff, like, I don't want to come across like I'm some sort of dragon lady. I know I'm not an expert in construction, I understand that, but obviously, you know, massive faults, and I pick them out and I say, look, that's not right, he would lose his mind. And I think we know that in future we'd like to work with people who are a lot more passionate, willing to do the work, and he just acted like he was doing us a favor. We were paying him. It's his job. Like, you know, I want to work with people who get that. So it was just a massive headache. A lot of tears have been shed. Yeah, I just can't even explain the amount of like stress that he caused us. It's really ridiculous. Even down to things like, I drew out a kitchen plan, ran it past him, he okayed it. Even things down to worktops, spent hundreds of pounds on worktops, then to be told that the worktops were wrong. And I was like, well, this is why I asked you. I didn't just order stuff without asking people. Then having to like fork out more money for different worktops because the other ones weren't right. And oh God, I don't want to bang on about it, but one thing I would say is definitely make sure that you're firstly getting broken down quotes, that you're working with someone who has the right accreditations, which I feel like is a no-brainer, but the situation we were in, we were way too trusting. And I swear I had a third point. What was the third point? Yeah, I'd say definitely agree on a timeline and get it in writing. That is something I did do, and I would bring it up with him and he would deny the fact that he ever said that, even though I had it in writing. So, but do get stuff in writing. Like, you know, saying something to someone means nothing. I would say get everything in writing, quotes, you know, literally everything you can, get it in writing. So after all of that complete ball ache of the construction side of things, we put it on the market. This was our next massive mistake, and I know there's going to be so many people who have an opinion on this. We got 3 different people to come in and value the property, and I think it's important to get 3 different people because all of ours were very, very different. So the swing between each of the valuations was 30 grand. So we decided to go somewhere in the middle, and we actually decided to put it on with purple bricks. I will never ever use purple bricks again, never ever. So in terms of timeline, so we got the property August. We were told that we could start working on it straight away, but he didn't start working on it for another month. So that was September. September, October, November, December, January, 5 months he worked on the construction side of things, which honestly I don't think it should have taken that long at all. I think maybe like 2-3 months would have been an accurate estimate, which is what we were told. So then we kind of put the property on the market February time, and one thing we did was actually stage it, and I will say that I would recommend staging it. It doesn't need to be a full staging, but I think doing that is far better than showing an empty property. And all the estate agents agreed with that. We had really good feedback about that. So that is something I would recommend doing, is just spend a little bit more money to stage it and make it look more like a home. But yeah, purple bricks, right. Okay, so we paid an upfront fee for purple bricks. So regardless of whether they sell the property or not, you don't get that money back. We obviously knew that previously, but purple bricks were about £1,000 cheaper than everyone else. Like £1,000–1,500. So we were like, that's a lot of money, you know? So we're gonna just give them a try, and if we don't like them, we don't like them. We won't use them in the future. Purple bricks didn't manage to sell our house. We had it on the market for months, months. which we were told it would just sell so quickly because it had been renovated. There was a lot of interest. We had like over 70 viewings, and we did have offers. And we actually agreed on certain sales. One thing I have an issue with Purple Bricks is we're obviously you pay an estate agent there. You know, they should be knowledgeable in being able to negotiate offers and carry sales through. Our local property expert from Purple Bricks did not do any of that. And we have actually since been on other house viewings with him, and it's getting an inside look into how he's been showing our house, and it was shocking, absolutely shocking. I just think it was such a waste of money, and they just go, oh yeah, just leave your feedback on the app. They don't follow up, they don't ask people's opinions. Like, if someone, you know, comes and looks and doesn't want the property, you kind of want to know, well, why wasn't it suitable for them? Is it because, you know, X, Y, Z? You kind of want to know. And the thing is with Purple Bricks, you just get what you pay for. You get a half-hour service, you get like really rubbish contact, everything's done through an app, they don't check in with you, and they don't talk to people. So, I mean, I'm not going to try and bitch about it for too long, but we agreed on a sale with a first-time buyer, and the thing is, we agreed on the sale and then COVID hit. And this is the other massive curveball. I feel like the curveballs for us were construction, estate agent, COVID. Yeah, so COVID hit, and halfway through the kind of process, she got furloughed. So, which meant that her mortgage offer was denied. So the first sale fell through on that basis. At this point, we were in our first lockdown. Nobody could do house viewings then. So we were like, there's no point putting it back on the market right now because nobody can come and look at it. So we thought, you know what, let's take it off the market until house viewings are possible again. So we took it down for, I don't know how long, like a month. And then when you could do the viewings again, we put it back on the market, put fresh photos up. Well, not fresh, we reshuffled the photos. But this is the thing, is that the property expert, that wasn't his recommendation, that was ours. We were like, we want it to look like a new property, you know, change the photos up a little bit, change the description a little bit so it doesn't look like a stale property. And this is the kind of thing that you expect estate agents, they should have that knowledge, and if they don't, then what are you paying for? So yeah, we put it up again, we had actually 2 offers. They were like competing against each other. We agreed on one. They had a survey done, and it just came back with a really bad survey. They implied there was subsidence. They undervalued it by quite a lot, and because they undervalued it so much, it meant that their lender wouldn't lend them the money anymore. So that sale fell through again. And this is the thing, I said, right, well, we need to quickly go back to the other person and be like, are you still looking? And this is the thing, Purple Bricks just didn't want to do that. They were just like, oh well. And you know, and in terms of the survey, this is where I started to panic, because I was like, there's something wrong with this house. We've had this shipbuilder do the work. Maybe there is subsidence. Maybe the house is going to fall down. Oh my God, we've bought this house that's literally crumbling. Oh my God, I was losing my shit. And this has caused me so much stress. Don't get me wrong, it's not put me off. I feel like we have learned some serious lessons, and this is why I want to share this with you guys in case you're ever going down the same route. And I think, well, I can't remember at what point, we just got to the point where we said to the guy at Purple Bricks, I was like, this is not working. This is a house that's been newly renovated in a really good area. I was like, I just don't understand why nobody wants to buy this house. And he was like, oh yeah, I don't either. And he just suggested dropping the price like a crazy amount. I think he just got to the point where he was like, I can't be bothered with this anymore. Look, drop the price by like 20k. It was more than 20k. I think he's just dropping it by 25k, and just, oh yeah, just sell it that way. And I was like, but the house is worth more than that. It's worth more than that. Why would we sell it for a number? And like, this isn't us being biased. We can see stuff going on the market. We've done our market research. You can see houses that have previously sold in the area. You can see how much they've sold for. And at that point, the relationship with Purple Bricks was just rubbish. completely rubbish. So we decided, even though we were going to lose, I think £1,300 is what it cost us to use purple bricks, we just decided, look, this isn't working. You're out the picture, we're using a different estate agent. They offered to keep on doing viewings and I said, no, I just don't want to work with you anymore. I just don't. We've tried it for months, it's not worked. So that was money down the drain. And I wouldn't want any of you guys to go through that again, because £1,000 is a lot of money, guys. And I just feel like the service we got was just shocking. And we decided to relist it with a different agent because, like I said, all the feedback we were getting from the house was like good, the little feedback that we did get. And we just didn't understand why it wasn't selling. Like I said previously, we did feel like there was a really good option to put up on the rental market, which we would have done if we couldn't sell it. But the whole point of us doing this project was to flip it, get a profit, do another one. So the rental option would have been like last resort. So we put it on with an agency called Hunters. And I think Hunters is like a franchise, so I don't know if they're just local to here or if they do other areas. And they sold it within 2 weeks. So, and they actually weren't that much more expensive. So we paid 1,300 for purple bricks. Hunters was 2,200 and it was a flat rate. So it wasn't based off of, a lot of them are like more percentages. So we agreed on that number, but obviously they wouldn't get paid until we'd completed on the sale. And yeah, I mean, the sale took a very long time. So we accepted that offer September 2020. So it took us literally a year to do the project and accept an offer that was actually going to be carried through. And we only just completed this Monday. So it's taken 4 months for this sale to go through, which is shocking. So their first time buyers are people who bought the house, which meant they, you know, chain free, there was nothing tying them in. But because of the whole thing at the moment where there's a stamp duty holiday, there's just such a backlog. I was like on my solicitors, on the estate agents weekly, being like, why is this not moving forward? We did also find that the buyers that we had were like extremely particular, extremely. And I was just thinking like, this sale's never going to go through. They were just bringing one thing up after another. Then they decided they wanted another survey. And obviously I was just like, oh, fingers crossed it goes through okay. The survey was extremely thorough. We went through that, took months. We had to do a price reduction after the survey because they asked for a very large price reduction, which we called their bluff and said that it was bullshit. But we did understand that some of the stuff that came back on the survey was valid, and we understand that. For example, it's an end terrace, the end wall is rendered. A lot of the render was blown and wasn't in good condition. This is stuff that we'd asked our contractor to fix, but he didn't because he's a prick. But yeah, so they were saying like, look, we're gonna have to have that done now, which is gonna cost us money. I mean, we did kind of say at the end of the day, like you can see when you go to the property that that needed done, but obviously they're first time buyers, they probably didn't know to look at that. Yeah, just a few little things. So we did have a price reduction. I'll go through this in the money video. But at this point I was just like, I need this house gone, like it's causing me so much stress. So yeah, we completed, we sold some of the furniture with it as well, which was good. We had to go back and clear it out, but it is sold now. But I just thought I needed to kind of give you guys an update because like I said, I just kept on getting questions being like, hang on, have you sold it? And I was like, oh, we're getting there, we're getting there. And I didn't want to say anything and jinx it. But we have definitely learned so much from this project. I feel like COVID coming about has been a massive curveball. I mean, we made a profit on it and I'm happy with that. At the end of the day, is it as much money as we were hoping to make or that we thought we would make? No, but did we make a profit? Yes. And for our first project, we are happy with the money that we made on it. We're more unhappy that it just took so long to do. That is the main thing that annoyed us about it. But you live and you learn. And like I said, I just wanted to be completely open, and you know, it's definitely one of these things, it's not as easy as it looks, but I bloody hope the next one is gonna be less stressful. And we definitely are gonna switch up so many ways that we did it. I'll probably go through in more detail where I got certain things like the kitchen and stuff in the next video. Okay, so I think that is everything. I'm literally sat here trying to wrap my brain and think, what have I missed? And I'm sure there are some, hello mister, I'm sure there are some big things I've missed there. But like I said, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. And let me know if you do want kind of separate spin-off videos on this. I will be doing a money one, I do promise. I'm gonna literally film it now, I think, and probably post it up next week. But yeah, I will go through costings and what we spent, what we earn, because I know that has been requested. But I hope you guys have found this video helpful or interesting at least. And if you have, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, because it really supports my channel. And if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn your notifications on so you never miss an upcoming video. And until next time, I will see you guys later.